This old-time radio program was originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity. We hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to this, one of the all-time favorite shows.
This is Inland Palladi, and you are listening to White Station Theater on the Air. Theater on the Air would like to remind you to stay home, social distance, and wash your hands. Now, please enjoy White Station Theater on the Air's performance of
Mother, is Maxwell House really the only coffee in the world?
Well, your father says so, and your father knows best.
Yes, it's Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as Father. A half-hour visit with your neighbors, the Andersons, brought to you by Maxwell House. The coffee that's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee at any price. Maxwell House, always good to the last drop. And all us other chillun, when the supper things is done, we set around the kitchen fire and has the mostest fun, a-listening to the witch tales that Annie tells about, and the goblin that gets ya if you don't watch out. It's Halloween in Springfield, and the white frame house on Maple Street looks dark and deserted. Maybe that's because it is dark and deserted. The Andersons, you see, are heading home after a weekend in the country with their friends, the Palmers. And at the moment we find them, that is, their car is parked on a muddy and rain-spattered road between... Well, how am I supposed to know where they are? They don't even know themselves. Like this.
What does the sign say, bud?
I don't know. It's dark out here.
Well, light a match.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's the matter with that boy. He doesn't have enough sense to come out in the rain.
He did. He couldn't read the sign, could he, dear?
Can you see it now, bud?
Yeah,
Well, what does it say?
no trespassing.
Well, that's a fine, great help. All right, come on back.
Okay. Daddy,
What is it, Kathy?
my feet are cold.
Well, put them in your pockets.
Mother!
Jim, that wasn't very nice.
Well, Margaret, she's done nothing but complain for the last 3 hours. She's hungry. She's sleepy. She's tired. She's cold.
Father,
Yes, Betty?
so am I.
Fine. I'll make note of it.
Boy, it's sure wet out here.
Get in and close the door. Don't just stand there.
Shove over, will you, Betty?
Bud, you're getting me all wet.
You poor thing. How would you like it if you had to get out every 2 minutes and look at a dopey sign?
Bud, stop complaining and shut the door.
I'm not complaining, Dad, but just because she gets a few drops of water on her.
Shut the door.
Holy cow.
Once we get back on the main road, I'll have y'all home in 30 minutes.
That's what you said 2 hours ago.
Well, I'm certainly not going to change my mind now. If you hadn't spent so much time lollygagging with that Palmer boy, we wouldn't have to take this shortcut.
Shortcut. Ha.
What was that?
Oh, nothing, Dad. I was just thinking.
Well, stop thinking out loud. This is a very good shortcut. If I can ever find it.
Oh, dear. It's too bad this had to happen. It was such a nice weekend, wasn't it, Jim?
Yes.
The Palmers are wonderful people, aren't they?
Oh, they're nice people, all right. But Will didn't have to knock himself out that way.
He was merely trying to be pleasant.
He scared me.
Oh, he didn't really, Kathy. He was just having fun.
Some fun.
Betty!
Well, let's face it, Margaret. Just because it's Halloween, he didn't have to have ghosts popping out of the closet every time you opened the door.
And I was scared. Don't like it.
Oh, Kathy, for the 8 millionth time, there's no such thing as ghosts.
There isn't?
No,
You mean they weren't real live ghosts?
there's no such thing as a real live ghost, sweetie.
How about a real dead ghost?
Betty, you keep out of this.
I was only trying to help.
I think you've helped quite enough. Thank you. You and Marshall, the mechanical wizard.
Now, what did we do?
The darn gas gauge doesn't work. The radio doesn't work. Nothing works.
Marshall said it just needed a fuse.
Marshall said. He works 1 week at a filling station, and that makes him an expert mechanic.
All right. Jim, how do you suppose, Will did that thing with the bridge table?
What thing?
Well, the bridge table, it floated in the air. It was very clever.
I don't know. I suppose he had wires or hooked on to something or...
I didn't see any wires.
There's another sign.
Where?
Over there.
Well, maybe now we'll find out where we are. Bud?
Oh, no. Dad, do I have to go out again?
Now, a little rain isn't gonna hurt you.
But I'm wet clear through now.
You can't get any wetter. Go ahead, bud.
Holy cow. What they need in this family is a seeing-eye duck. Daddy,
Now what?
if there aren't any ghosts, why do people say there are?
Because they don't have anything better to talk about.
I know you don't believe in those things, Jim, but there was a chair in my grandmother Williams' house.
And it rocked back and forth and back and forth.
It certainly did!
And you've told me about it 8,000 times. And there's still a logical explanation for it.
Maybe the termites are facing up and down.
Betty, that isn't funny.
The floor was probably crooked. Or the chair was standing in a draft. It could have been anything, but it was not being rocked by no darn ghost.
I'm scared. Dad.
What's the matter, bud?
Hey, Dad, you know what?
Don't stand out there in the rain. Get inside.
Okay, move over, will you, Betty?
Oh, you're a pest.
Well, bud, what'd you find out?
Well, remember the sign that said Bensonville, 12 miles, and you said now you knew where we were?
Mm-hmm. What about it?
That's it.
What?
Oh, Jim.
You mean it's the same sign?
Sure. On the bottom, it says Blossom Loves Rocky, with a skull and crossbones.
Bensonville?
Father, we were here 2 hours ago.
Jim Anderson.
Margaret, it was an honest mistake. When I took the right turn, I guess I shouldn't have taken the left, that's all.
Kathy said we should have taken a left turn.
Well, since when does a 9-year-old child know more about roads than I do?
Let me think. Now. If only you'd stop someone and ask.
Like who? We haven't seen a single soul since we left Mansfield, and that was 3 hours ago. Oh. Now what's wrong with the full motor?
Maybe you flooded it, Dad. Pull me out on the choke.
Bud, would you like to drive?
Okay.
Oh, you stay right where you are.
But you just said...
I was driving cars way before you were born, and I can drive rings around you right now, boy.
Well, sure, but...
Father, is the switch on?
Switch is on. Contact Roger. We'll go wahoo.
Jim, you're losing your temper.
I'm calm, I'm cool, and I'd like to take Marshall Palmer and stuff him down the nearest well.
Why blame it on Marshall? He was only trying to help.
The two of you fussed around with this car for 2 hours, and you've wrecked it. Does it take 2 hours to put gas in a car?
Gas? You didn't say to put gas in the car.
What? What?
Well, we just checked the tires and polished the chrome, and you didn't say to put gas in it.
Oh, Margaret, no.
Betty, how could you have done a thing like that?
Well, I didn't know he wanted us to get gas.
Oh,
Margaret, I've been a good husband and a good father, but so help me. Kathy, what's the matter?
Daddy, I saw it. It was a ghost.
You're choking me.
Daddy, I saw it.
Kathy, stop it.
Oh.
Margaret.
Kathleen, stop choking your father, please.
Oh, but I saw it, Mommy. It was big and white, and it had big, long wings.
Mother?
Are you all right, Jim?
I don't know. I think she's been taking lessons from Strangler Lewis.
I don't see any ghost.
It was over there, Bud. And it had 3 heads and a long white beard, and I saw it out the window.
Hey, there is something.
It's the ghost. Oh, Daddy!
Now, just a minute. Bud,
I don't think it's a ghost, but I saw something.
I don't see any. Oh, yes.
Oh, Father.
Jim.
Oh, there's nothing to get upset about, Margaret. It's probably just a billboard or something.
It's a house. Now I can see it. It's a 2-story house, and it's got pigeons on the roof.
Ghosts with 3 heads. All that excitement about a farmhouse and a few fluttering pigeons. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, all y'all.
Jim, where are you going?
Well, I'm gonna see if I can't wake somebody off. I've got to go borrow some gas. I'll be back.
Bud, maybe you ought to go out with your dad.
What for?
Well, it's very dark out there, and he might not be able to find the way.
I don't know the way any better than he does.
But why don't you stop arguing?
I'm not arguing. And I don't see you jumping out of the rain.
Of course not. Girls don't do things like that.
Why not?
They just don't. That's why not.
Boy, this is a racket.
Bud,
I go first. I'm a girl. I get this. I'm a girl. Who takes care of the men?
Girls.
Bud, this is hardly the time for the Battle of the Sexes.
I wasn't fighting, but good gravy.
Margaret,
Is everything all right, dear?
honey, it's a house, all right, but it's not exactly what we figured. It's it's sort of an empty caretaker's cottage.
What's an empty caretaker?
It's a cottage, Dopey, and it's empty.
Oh.
Jim, why would a farm have a caretaker's cottage?
Well, that's what I was saying. It isn't exactly like a farm. It's just figure it's anything like it's anything else. That's all.
Jim, what is it?
Well, it's the Pleasant View Cemetery.
Well, on Halloween night, most of us won't be in quite such a fix. Instead, the pumpkins will glow on the table when the children come in from their chilly rounds, eager for the cookies and donuts and fresh sweet cider. And you know who else will be there to drink a cup or two of steaming coffee? The world's greatest coffee expert. Yes, ma'am, that #1 expert will be on hand because he's your husband. Now, we could say we're the experts. Our Maxwell House coffee is America's favorite brand. But we know the final judge is that man of yours, and if you'll pour him a cup of Maxwell House, we're mighty sure he'll say,
"Best coffee I ever tasted."
In fact, if he doesn't, we'll give you your money back. You see, we know there's no coffee that tastes like Maxwell House because no coffee's made like Maxwell House. We're proud as can be of that wonderful, good to the last drop flavor. So we'd like you to buy a pound and start serving it to that husband of yours. And if he doesn't say it's the coffee for him, why, you send us the can and unused portion, and we'll gladly refund the price you paid. Our address is right on the front of that familiar blue tin. Find out just how much the world's greatest coffee expert, your husband, enjoys Maxwell House coffee. Always good to the last drop. A few chill moments have come and gone, and we find the Andersons' brave little band huddled on the porch of the caretaker's cottage. The rain keeps pouring down on the battered roof, and in the eaves, pigeons flap their restive wings. Or is it a belfry? Or are they bats? Well, anyway, the Andersons aren't worried, not in the least. Chins up, shoulders back, they march fearlessly into whatever awaits them. Like this.
I don't want to go in.
Kathy, there is nothing to be afraid of.
I don't care. I don't want to go in.
Well, would you rather stay out here on the porch all night and freeze to death?
I'm scared.
Kathy, I don't know what's gotten into you. This isn't just a cemetery. It's a monument of which we should all be proud. Those are the graves of Civil War heroes, men who died for their country.
Father!
What were you saying, dear?
Let's just see if we can get inside.
Dad?
Any luck, bud?
No. I tried the windows on the ground floor and they're all locked. I found a shovel out in back though.
That's nice. If we can't dig our way in, at least it'll make a pleasant souvenir of the evening, won't it?
Well, I just thought if there's a shovel around, maybe that means somebody lives here.
Thank you, Sam Spade.
See, that's a good one. Sam Spade, 'cause I found a shovel. Get it, Betty?
I got it, and you can have it.
What's the matter with her?
I want to go home.
We can't go home, Kathy. There isn't any gas in the car. And I'm not walking 12 miles in the rain to get any either.
Jim, we can't just stay here all night.
I have no intention of standing here all night. First, let's see if we can't.
Jim!
It's just the door opening, honey. That's all.
Who opened it?
I want to go home.
Now, I hear one more peep out of you, so help me.
Jim, what happened to Bud?
I don't know. He was right.
Mother!
You want me, Dad?
How'd you get down there?
I don't know. I guess I fell off the porch. Who opened the door, Dad?
How do I know? But it's open, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
It used to be open.
That is funny.
It's locked, huh?
No, I just like to rattle doorknobs.
How could it be open 1 minute and locked the next minute?
The wind, that's all it is. The wind blew it shut.
Who blew it open?
Now, Betty, stop asking silly questions.
What's silly about that?
But let's see if...
Father?
Well, never mind, bud. It's open again.
Holy cow.
All right, everybody, let's get inside before the darn thing changes its mind again.
Jim, if this is the haunted house.
Margaret,
I don't want to go into the haunted house.
Kathy, stop being ridiculous. There is no such thing as a haunted house.
Now, Jim, I know you don't believe in ghosts and haunted houses.
Margaret, you don't either. No sensible person does.
Of course, dear, of course. But then why did the bridge table float in the air at the Palmers?
It was a trick, Margaret. Just like all those other stupid things Will Palmer did. Tapping on the floor and weird voices. You saw how he did the...
But he didn't explain about the table.
He forgot, that's all. And if you don't mind, I'd just as soon forget too. Let's go inside. All right, Kathy.
I'm only a little girl. I'm only 9 years old.
8 years old? Nothing is gonna hurt you.
Turn the lights on, bud.
Mother, is it all right if I just wait in the car?
No. You're staying right here with us. How about it, bud?
Nothing happens.
We'll get a light somehow. Now what's the matter?
I just walked into a spider web. Ew.
Just please stop complaining and close the door.
Jumping creepers.
All I wanted was to get into the 6th grade.
Kathy.
Dad,
Hmm?
there's an oil lamp over here,
Fine. Now we're getting somewhere.
but there isn't any oil in it.
Bud,
Yes, Dad?
see what else you can find if that isn't any good.
Isn't any good for what?
Just never mind.
Well, gosh, I was only trying to...
Mother.
Now I'll settle for 5th grade.
What's wrong with that stupid door? Bud,
Don't look at me, Dad. I wasn't any place near it.
I know you weren't. I was merely... Oh, here's what it is. It's just a loose screw.
I knew there was a screw loose someplace.
You see this, Margaret? The latch is unfastened. When the wind blows, the latch slides over and the door opens.
Why couldn't you open it before?
Well, because the latch gets hung up when the door bangs shuts, and stop bothering me. There's nothing mysterious about it.
I'll be happy to finish the 4th grade.
Jim, it is very cold in here.
Yeah, kind of clammy.
Wouldn't it just be warmer if we all just sat in the car?
No. We'll get a fire started in here and that'll take care of everything.
Jim.
Honey, there's nothing in here that can hurt anybody. A nice friendly fire in the fireplace, it'll make all the difference in the world. How about getting some wood, bud?
Here's a whole pile of newspapers.
Good.
Hey, you know who's gonna run for president? Coolidge.
Bud, let's get that fire started and stop with the jokes.
What jokes?
Oh, get some wood.
Now, Jim, I know there isn't anything to be worried about, but that door, it's giving me the creeps.
Well, I'll fix that. Get this chair wedged under the doorknob and... There we are. Now, I'd like to see it open. Come on, bud. Let's get there with the wood.
Where do I get wood?
I don't care where you get it. Just get it. Kathy, you know I just can't stand that.
What?
Stop whining.
I wasn't whining, Daddy.
Hand me some of that newspaper, Betty, will you please?
What a time to read.
Betty, just help your father build the fire.
Okay.
Kathy,
Yes, Daddy?
you're whining again.
I didn't even make a sound.
Here's the paper, Father.
We'll have some light in here in just about 2 seconds.
How's this wood for you, Dad?
Fine, bud. There we are. That's a little better, ain't it? Let's have the wood, bud.
Jim!
It's an owl, Margaret. That's all it is. Just an owl.
I don't like owls.
You don't like anything.
Jim, what is it?
Smoke. Does it seem to be going up the chimney. Must have a nest up there.
Want me to open a window, Dad?
Yeah, please.
Jim, the chair, it's gone.
I want to go home.
Now, just a minute. There must be a logical explanation now. Chairs don't just walk off by themselves, do they, bud?
This one didn't. You just put it in the fireplace.
Now what?
Well, you said you didn't care where I got the wood.
The smoke is getting hot.
Yeah, you're right. But open the window at the top of the stairs. See if we can't get a little cross ventilation in here.
Bud do this. Bud do that. Sounds like the only name you ever heard of was Bud.
What was that?
I said I have to open the window. Hey!
Oh, Father!
I want to go home.
Bud? What is it?
It was a cat. I guess I stepped on its tail.
What? Stop fooling around and open the dang window.
Oh, Father!
Daddy, I have a wonderful idea. Let's go home.
Jim.
It's just a dog, Margaret. That's all. Just a dog howling at the moon.
Dogs howl when somebody dies.
Now there's a bit of pleasant information.
I'm only a little girl.
Kathy, please.
I'm not having a bad enough time. People jumping every time a dog howls or an owl hoots or a door squeaks.
Dad, what's the matter, Dad?
Oh, Bud, why do you have to sneak up in the back of people like that?
I didn't sneak up in the back of you.
Oh, you most certainly did.
Jim.
What's that?
A cow. Just a plain, ordinary cow.
What's a cow doing up at this time of night?
I don't know. Looking for another cow. It's lonesome.
Jim, all these peculiar noises.
They aren't peculiar noises. We're out in the country. They're just plain ordinary noises.
But they sound so weird.
Father?
What's the matter?
We heard something.
You're imagining things. All of y'all. You heard the wind whistling through the trees.
It didn't sound like the wind.
All right. What did it sound like?
Like that.
Well, that's nothing. It's just a board creaking. That's all.
Jim, we have got to get out of here.
Well, how? Where are we gonna go?
I don't care where. Let's just go.
I'm only 9 years old.
All right, Kathy. We'll leave. We'll leave right now. Not that there's anything to be afraid of.
Father? It's coming closer.
It's a ghost. It's a big white ghost.
Oh boy.
Jim.
All right. We've got you. Stay where you are.
Are you folks? Folks?
Yes, we're folks. Who are you?
Oh, I'm the new caretaker. Just moved in tonight. I'm not sure I like this job.
Oh, Jim.
There. You see, there wasn't anything to be afraid of.
Well, maybe there ain't now, but I sure was scared before. You see, for a while, I figured maybe you was ghosts. When you buy coffee, you certainly want to get the most in flavor for your money. And you know the world's greatest coffee expert can help you find it. Yes, ma'am. Just set a steaming cup of Maxwell House coffee in front of your husband. He's the #1 expert. Watch him smile at the first sip. Listen to him say,
Best coffee I've ever tasted.
right then, you'll know you found the flavor. You'll know that Maxwell House coffee is your coffee to buy. Bring home a pound of Maxwell House tomorrow. See how much your husband enjoys every cupful, and count all the truly good cups of coffee you get from just one of those familiar blue tins. We think you'll be convinced that Maxwell House coffee gives you the most for your money, because it's always good, to the last drop. The horrible night is over at last. The Andersons are home, safe and happy, and as they dig into their breakfast cereal, Jim tells them exactly just how foolish they've been. Like this.
Now, I've never been ashamed of anyone in my entire life. Why, you acted as though we were living in the Middle Ages.
I wasn't scared, Dad.
You certainly were.
I certainly wasn't.
You were just as scared as anybody, wasn't he, Kathy?
He wasn't as scared as I was. I was real scared.
Of what? Everything had a logical explanation, didn't it?
Jim,
Well, hello, Margaret. You finally decided to come to the party, huh? You haven't said a single word since we sat down at this table.
well, Jim, there was a phone call before you got up.
Oh, who was it?
Will Palmer! He said he hadn't been able to sleep a wink all night.
Good. Serves him right. What did he want?
He wants you to call him.
What for? We just saw him yesterday.
He wants you to tell him how you did that trick. You know, the one where the bridge table floats in the air.
Oh, no!
Tell the kids it's a hot favorite with Hoppy. That's hot post-wheat meal. And if you have trouble getting the youngsters to eat a hot cereal, just tell them how much Hopalong Cassidy loves that rich, brown, hot post-wheat meal. Post-wheat meal is chock full of good, solid nourishment. It has a wonderful nut-like flavor. It cooks in just 3.5 minutes. And tell the kids it's Hoppy's favorite. Hot post-wheat meal. You'll see. You'll all see. It's the best hot wheat cereal you ever ate. Join us again next week when we'll be back with Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young as Jim Anderson, with Roy Bargy and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. So until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's favorite brand of coffee. Always good to the last drop. Father Knows Best was transcribed in Hollywood and written by Ed James. Now, stay in tune for Defense Attorney, which follows immediately over most of these stations.